Hello everybody and welcome to Reviews That... Hello everybody and welcome to Reviews That Don't Matter with Jessica Hitt. My name is Jessica Hitt and today you are joining us for March Marvel Madness. This is the month where I go through all of the MCU movies. I rank them later this week. I am all the way to end of phase 2-ish, and this is Avengers Age of Ultron. For some strange reason, people are like really hard on this movie, and I think it's because Avengers was such a success. I mean, it grossed over $1 billion. It made a crap ton of money the opening weekend. People were basically praising Joss Whedon for this amazing job he did in Avengers, and then they like shit on him for Age of Ultron, which made no sense to me. I really like Age of Ultron. I think it's a great movie with a pretty cohesive plot. By this point, we have so many characters. We have the core 6, well we have the core 4, and then we have of course Black Widow and Hawkeye as the 6 original Avengers. You do have the newbies in Wanda and Pietro Maximoff, which are Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and then of course you add in Vision, you have War Machine, you have Falcon. You're introducing these 2 characters, and then you also have like the side characters like that. The Lady Doctor, you have Eric Selvig in this. There is a lot of characters in this, and I think they did a really good job at introducing all of them and making it feel cohesive and work. Yeah, there's things that are wrong with the movie. There's things wrong with every movie, even like Avengers or any of those. I personally did not care much for the Black Widow and Hulk love storyline. I thought that was a little, it didn't feel organic, and I understand where he was going with the like Beauty and the Beast type thing, but it just, I mean, I think that Scarlett Johansson and Mark Ruffalo have decent chemistry, but I don't think it was needed. I kind of like not knowing Black Widow's whole story. I like that you could never really tell what side she was on. Like, she was always for the good side, but there was always something a little bit sketchy about her, and I kind of never wanted a backstory. I didn't. I liked the mystery surrounding her, and I thought that was really cool, and I liked the fact that they had a female superhero that didn't have a love interest, which was kind of ruined in this movie. And me personally, I did not like the Hulk going rogue after Scarlet Witch messed with his mind thing. I didn't like having to spend 10 minutes watching Iron Man in his giant Hulk Buster suit fighting the Hulk in the whole grand scheme of things. I think that it is an important part for future movies. Like, I think it helps make Civil War a little bit more weighted. But in Age of Ultron, it does kind of bug me. I just don't, if you watch my Avengers thing, I don't really care much for Avengers fighting Avengers. That's always bugged me. I think it worked in the first one. This one, that kind of thing kind of bugged me. And then I really liked James Spader's Ultron. I thought the dialogue was really like rich and sarcastic, and he had this drawling voice. Especially when you first meet him, when he comes out and he's in the robot suit that is like totally falling apart. I thought that was super creepy. People dig on a lot of the Marvel villains, and some of them aren't great. I mean, any of the Thor ones or the Guardians of the Galaxy one I don't think was that good, but I think that this one was pretty decent. I mean, I don't really think James Spader can do much wrong. The only unbelievable thing I have with that whole AI storyline is that you think Tony Stark would have seen all of the movies saying that robots are going to end up killing us, like iRobot and all of that. You think he would know, but no, he doesn't. Because in the middle of the movie, he goes and does it again, and he creates Vision, who I love Vision. I think he's really good. Paul Bettany. I like that he has the familiar voice of Jarvis to where it doesn't feel so new, but he is a completely new character because he's not Jarvis, he is Vision. Also, I would like to say that Bruce Banner did all of the Ultron stuff with Tony Stark, and no one ever blames him. It's all Tony's fault. And I understand Tony's like the alpha in the relationship, but I mean, come on. He did some stuff. Nobody is harking on him, and I think that that's not fair. because Bruce Banner should know better. Truth. I also really like the stuff they did with Thor in this movie because this is the first time that anyone's putting it together that the Infinity Stones are being like hunted down almost. They keep popping up and Thor is now going to try to figure out what the hell's going on, which is the reason why he's not in Captain America Civil War, is because he goes up and he is in Asgard or traveling the 9 realms trying to figure out why all of these stones are popping up all of a sudden. So I can't wait till he finds out about Thanos. I think that's going to be really interesting. I mean, Loki probably knows about Thanos, I would think, because he kind of worked for him a little bit for the first Avengers. I don't know if he knew he was working for Thanos though. I don't remember. I also think that the Maximoff twins in Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver work. I do think that Age of Ultron had the misfortune of having Quicksilver be in this movie after they had Quicksilver in Days of Future Past, because that was the Quicksilver scene in Days of Future Past is iconic and it's probably the best we'll ever see a Quicksilver. And so they had to do something different for this movie, and I think that didn't it was okay, but I mean, it should have been better. It could have been better, but the better choice was already chosen by a totally different franchise. So that kind of sucked. But I personally really like Scarlet Witch, even though she has really vague powers, and they were kind of the bad guys, but they were really just trying to destroy Stark because, and that's the thing, is I actually kind of get their reasoning behind hating the Avengers and like thinking that, or like wanting to go after them. I understand that, and I think that once they figured out that Ultron was not all there and trying to destroy the human race, they did the right thing. They obviously like helped out, and they kind of just fell into becoming Avengers. And I will say that I think it's great. This is a big spoiler, so if you've not seen the movie, you don't want to be spoiled yet, even though it's been out for quite a long time, so it's your own damn fault. I think that they made the right move in killing off Quicksilver. This is the first time a death is really stuck in these movies. In the first Avenger, we had Phil Coulson die, but then they brought him back for the TV show, and that moment doesn't carry as well anymore. It doesn't feel as heavy, because even though we really didn't know much of Phil Coulson, for some reason we gave a crap about him. And then when he died, it was kind of like, oh my god, that's so sad. And so I really like how this one is stuck. They're not bringing him back. It does affect Scarlet Witch. You can kind of tell that she's kind of just always sad, which I really like. And I think that it's nice to see her kind of adjusting to this new life. And also, the whole Hawkeye storyline in Age of Ultron is stellar. They make it... The thing is, he was always the joke Avenger in the first one and then carried on, and in this one they actually made people really care about him. And I think we cared about him, but it was kind of like we saw this, you're like, oh yeah, we do actually care about Hawkeye. And I do think that he is a really important part of the group. I think he is kind of the glue, which is what, you know, we had that scene with him and his wife, played by Linda Cardellini, who was awesome. And she basically says, I don't think they can do it without you. So it's kind of sad when he retires at the end, but I was very happy to see him not die in this movie. I thought through the entire one, I knew somebody was dying. I think I had read something like there is like a really sad character death before I saw it. And through the entire movie, I was like, Hawkeye's gonna die. He's gonna die because they're doing that thing where they give him all of this backstory and they're gonna make us care about him and then he's gonna be gone. And then I was kind of like, well, maybe he doesn't die. And at one point I even thought that Rhodey died. But thank God that didn't happen because he was an important part in Civil War, I think. Overall, I'm super pleased with this movie. I think that it ended up really well. There's two parts that I take out of it, being the love story and then also the Hulk fight that they had. You know, you could probably trim some fat in some other places or change some things. Joss Whedon was probably under so much pressure with this movie, and I think he did it right. I think that people were a little unjustly fair about it, but everyone is free to have their own opinion. Some people were really disappointed with Age of Ultron, and you're allowed your opinions. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really did. I did. Okay, that is my review of Avengers Age of Ultron. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss any more of my March Marvel Madness. We are finishing up the MCU movies this week with the end of Phase 2, beginning of Phase 3. I'm very, very excited. It's got a lot of great movies this week. And on Friday, I will be doing a definitive list of the MCU movies. So there's that. Also, comment down below. Tell me what you think of Age of Ultron. If you were disappointed, if you don't understand the backlash against it. I love this movie, so you know how I feel. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!